Back from a hiatus, Chris the Greek, Rob Schreibner, Amateur Night.
A hiatus.
Yeah.
A hiatus.
Well, I've been sick, you've been at work.
Yeah, we just, the pay wasn't good enough. Had to go out and get a real job, mate. So.
Yeah.
But it's been good. Lots of interesting stuff happening around the QBL.
First of all, before we start the previews, let me remind people we have opinions and we get a lot of requests who to pick and who not to pick. Like, for example, Bundaberg's Dean Page has asked us not to predict his team so he can motivate it, like Dale Ryan, Team Motivation Part 2.
101.
Yeah.
Maybe you can invite Dale Ryan to his team motivation thing because Dale doesn't know.
Well, it's not that, but you, Dean, I like you, you're a nice guy, but can I suggest something? Grab your team, say you cost an arm and a leg, if you don't play well, you don't win a championship, I'll take you to my boat, let's go to Harvey Bay, dump them and get some humpback whales and play for you next year.
That was well thought out. How about I stick to the humor?
And Vanderjack, he doesn't pick you because you can't dunk, so...
He can't dunk.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've seen him dunk. I know he can dunk. It's not up there with, it's not up there amongst the upper echelon of dunkers, but he can dunk.
He's a 7-footer.
Have you put enough shit on people now? Can we move on?
I'm just precursing. Let's start it on.
Precursing. Let's go to the wrap up from last week. We missed a few weeks, but let's go up to. This was Monday, July 16th.
No, that's the Friday. That's when they wrote it.
Oh, BQ. I believe it was up in Cairns. Yes, it was. Where the Dolphins have defeated the Clippers in the women's 71-62, a little bit closer than one would have anticipated. But Maroochydore still with their lone win, one win. Going down the coast in a nail-biter, a barn burner, everything else you want to call it. The Bundaberg Bears have defeated the Gold Coast Rolettes 75-74, and that was loss number 3 in a row for, 3 or 4 in a row for the Rollers, who started out like a house on fire. Now I think they're 5-4 or 5-3, so they've come back to the earth. But it was a close game. Minpaw was pretty tough, and my girl Yvonne Turner made her comeback game on that, and Haley Munro, the three-headed dragon from Bundy. Disappointing probably result for Trish and the girls, but
you can't do much. Even we saw the game versus Bundy Gold Coast when they were playing at Gold Coast, and was like it's a really tough matchup for either team to win.
Yeah. Then we go to up on the mountain, where the Toowoomba Mountaineers have played the cashed up but underperforming Capitals. And the Capitals come out unconvincing winners, 73-60. Toowoomba have turned their season around. Brisbane are floundering. A 13-point win against Toowoomba, not good enough for the money they spent on that team, I don't think.
And the thing is, like, Toowoomba has only got like 2 decent imports, and ideally there are teams in the QBL that can beat Toowoomba pretty comfortably.
Yeah, you would have thought Brisbane would have, but all hats off to...
And with all the height and the height difference, like you've got Randall and Warren, and they barely have Keisha Lee's working on one leg, so...
Yeah, 2 Americans for Toowoomba had 43 points between them, 43 of their 60, so, they are a little... But they've turned around, they've won a couple of games now. They have won 2 games, they did win another game. Like I said, they've won 2 games this year. That's 2 more than they won in the 4 years before.
You have to give credit to their coach.
You sure do. Ipswich made the travel down the highway. I believe this was at the Hibiscus Center,
yes,
wasn't
it? Was. I watched that
Southwest, 53, still trying to get their first win. Unfortunately, Ipswich, 77. That's a 20.4-point victory to Southwest. And I don't know, do you think Southwest women are going to win a game this year?
Well, it'll come down to like Southwest. They play Toowoomba and Maroochydore twice. Another 2 times, so they should be...
I don't know why they're playing Maroochydore twice, they're not in the same pool.
Well, they do have like 1 game.
Oh, that's right, because they have a pool of 4, 4, and 5, or whatever it is. 13 teams you have, not 14 like it says on your website. BQ.
But Yeah, I think Southwest can win a game versus Maroochydore at home. They could win the Toowoomba game, but it's pretty tough.
Ipswich are back sailing along. You know, them Gold Coast should be the two teams to make it out of that pool. Well, they will be, clearly. Northside hosted the Rockhampton Cyclones, and I think the Cyclones are stamping themselves as legitimate contenders, and they're going to take it to Gladstone and Bundy and anyone else. Sorry, not Bundy. I didn't mention Bundy. They suck. Your team sucks, Dean. Their team's horrible. They're going to lose to everyone. Okay, I'll take the 50 in the mail. I don't really mean that. Yeah, they crushed the Northside Wizards, 74-40. You know, that's the difference, mate. You know, there's no one in the South, all due respect, I don't call Bundy the South, that can come close to Rocky and Gladstone.
And Northside Wizards 40 points in the game. That must have been quite a defensive effort from Rockhampton.
Rockhampton's getting it done. They got a new coach. I think he just was hired, taking Jamie Boone's place up there in Rock Vegas. So good luck to him. Victorian, we won't hold that against you. Then we go to Townsville, backing up Maroochydore, where it was ugly. A lot uglier than Cairns. 95, the Flamettes have torched the Clippers, 53. That's a 42-point win to Townsville. There was no match for Townsville, very much overmatched, and the game was over at halftime, basically.
You sort of, that's a pretty hard road trip to get, and Townsville are far more superior than Maroochydore. You can only wish the best for Maroochydore. It's going to be a tough season.
Well, they've got to win. Southwest don't. Then we go to Mackay, where they hosted the Gladstone Power. That'd be a nice matchup, and it was a close game. 77 the Meteorites, 84 the Power. 7-point victory to the defending champions, and they're sitting there equal top of the ladder with Rockhampton. So, you know, to secure the win. Nat Hurst, triple-double, 23 points. You know, she's pretty impressive. Has to be player of the week with a triple-double, you'd think.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those, Mackay is going to end up being in the playoffs either way, so it could be a precursor for your semi-finals.
I'd say it could be. Mackay should be around the mark. Then we come to the last game of the round. The Brisbane cashed up Capitals after their very unconvincing 13-point victory over Toowoomba. Host Rockhampton. And ladies and gentlemen, that's ugly. That is ugly. 96 to the Rockets, 53. Yeah, that's right. It's not a misprint. You lost by 43 points. Wow. That tells you kind of where you're at in the pecking order, I guess. Money don't buy you love. The least said about that, except Rockhampton, the real deal, and Brisbane Capitals have paid cash for a pretender. That's all I can say. And they still may possibly make the playoffs, but the women's team, even though they'll have to finish on more wins than Northside, who have beaten them twice. But it'll be a travesty. They won't last long. That's embarrassing to lose by 43 on your own court when you're paying out the money you paid for that team.
I'll stay out of it.
Well, so you think that's a nice result? 96-53?
No,
are you kidding me? 96-53. What the heck is going on there? You know, they got an import. They got a WNBL player. They got a player who played for Australia, won a gold medal at the World University, played college basketball. They got a nice breeding ground of juniors, and you can come up with a 43-point loss to Rockhampton? Please, get a mirror and look in it.
And Rocky would have most of their under-20s team is...
No, you know, they've bought players in that, but that's embarrassing, mate. 96-53. Still haven't solved any problem in the Brisbane women's program. Maybe spend more money next year. Maybe go to Siebel.